Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you very much for coming to today's seminar, Laws of Steel seminar from Happy Science Temple, London. And before starting, we will recite the true words spoken by Buddha together. The true words spoken by Buddha. There used to be the light in the great universe. The light is the energy of Buddha. People can live by this energy, and Buddha's energy has made human history. It will be supplied eternally. This eternal light comes from heaven and prevails on earth. This is the light of heaven. Through the prism of Buddha, there appear the 7 colors of rainbow, arching over in the sky. Here you can see Buddha's mercy. Yellow is the color of teaching. White is the color of saving. Red is the color of justice. Purple is the color of obedience. Blue is the color of thinking. Green is the color of harmony. Silver is the color of progress. These 7 colors help each other, and there appears Buddha land. Buddha land is shining brightly because of gathering of bodhisattvas. This is a land of love or the land of mercy. This is a land of wisdom or the land of teaching. Especially, this is the land of souls rest in peace. Real souls are the children of Buddha. The children of Buddha became real human beings. Real human beings have spirituality. The spirits are immortal powers. The spirits are immortal forces. The spirits are real entities. The physical bodies are the shadows of the spirits. It means you are the boat sailing down the great river. The great river is the symbol of the course of life. Each of you sails down as a small boat. So you need a boatman. If it were not for your boatman, you surely go aground. This boatman really means your mind. If your mind makes a mistake, the boat breaks into pieces by a large rock, and you also need a bamboo pole. This pole is the meaning of the true words. When you go down a rapid stream, you need to hunt in the stream. Then you can change your course. The true words means the teaching of Buddha. Buddha enlightened and spoke the true words, and Buddha's teaching became a gold mine. This gold mine suggests various teachings. These are another expression of Buddha's truth. It brightens up your days. Or to put it another way, the fruits of Buddha's mercy. All of you, now here, listen to me. Never lose your way, now and forever. The guiding hand has already waved. Please follow this white hand and go straightly on and on. Your lives are not limited to this world only. They have 3 aspects: the past, the present, the future. Your pasts have already gone by, yet still your mistakes will be kept in your minds. That is the reason why you should understand other people, and you yourself should reflect on what you have done. You and others are not different. On the contrary, both are children of Buddha and brothers and sisters. Now then, love each other. Let us bring up each other, and it's time to forgive each other. This is the eternal law, which penetrates the present and the future. Yes, indeed, the light of the dark night. The dark night of this world is hell. It is also the same in another world. Since we came down to this world, the sun, the truth, is scheduled to rise. Now we are watching rising sun. It will shed light to the future, to invite sad people to Buddha land. Now here I command, there shall not be conflict in this world. There shall not be distrust in this world. There shall not be crime in this world. There shall not be evil spirit in this world. There shall not be the devil in the next world. Only the ideal world, utopia, shall be realized. All of the people love each other, live harmoniously, believe in one another. That world is utopia. All of us could be the light of Bodhisattvas, believing that the light has reality, believing that love has reality, believing that the truth has reality. These are the facts that should be conveyed. We, the light of Bodhisattvas, get together, work together to keep right mind and live in tune with Buddha's words. Here we are to do so. Okay, thank you very much again. In today's seminar is the second seminar of the Laws of Steel. And today is from the chapter 2, the Law of Cause and Effect. Did you read the Laws of the Sun? Sorry, Laws of the Steel.
Yeah, chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Yes. Okay. This chapter, this is one of my favorite chapter of the Laws of Steel, and about the law of cause and effect, or the law of causality. And before starting, I will show some information about the law series of happy science. Maybe long-time members already know about the law series of happy science, but every year, Master Okawa publishes law series book, a title with law in its title, a book with law in its title. And this year's book is Laws of Steel. So Master Oka publishes every year one book with the title Laws of Something. I will show you the whole titles of the Laws series, starting from the Laws of the Sun, Golden Laws, the 9 dimensions, which is Laws of Eternity, to Laws of Steel in 2020. And this is the 26th book of Law series. So before beginning, I will show you some example of Laws series in recent years. The Laws series from last year was the Laws of Bronze. Bronze is a symbol of a strong faith, like a church door, bronze door in the church. And its theme is to protect our faith, like a bronze door in the church. And this was the theme of the Laws of Bronze in 2019. 2018 was the Laws of Faith, one world beyond differences. I love this chapter, chapter 6. This is its title is The Choice of Humankind. Humankind must learn the words of the true God, overcome their differences, reconcile and harmonize, and strive to evolve and develop. These are the words of El Cantar, God of the Earth. This is a public lecture from Master Okawa, influenced more than 50,000 people in Japan, in Tokyo, in 2017. So I love this lecture, The Choice of Humankind, which is chapter 6 of the Laws of Faith. 2017 was the Laws of Mission. I chose the preface from this book. Few people are aware that they are now living in a time of light. This is because the world is full of various kinds of disasters and misfortune. However, that is why I will tell you this. Now is the time when humanity is suffering in the depths of agony. God too is there. Yes, this preface also applies to the current situation of 2020. So I love this preface, this book. Okay. 2016 was the Laws of Justice. It's about international politics. So Master Oka made a lot of judgments to the international politics of that time, including the time of IS, the terrorism by IS, or assault on Charlie Hebdo in Paris. And also 2016 was a presidential election of the United States. And yes, in that year, President Trump was elected, and before his election, Master Walker predicted his election as the president of the United States. So this is very tremendous and deep book of wisdom about international politics from the viewpoint of Ilkantar. Okay. I cannot show every title of those series, so I will stop here. But if you want to know the basic teachings step by step, I recommend you to read Laws series one by one, from the Laws of the Sun, Golden Laws, Laws of Eternity, and you can also start from the new ones, Laws of Steel, Bronze, Faith, Mission, Justice, Wisdom, something like that. So I recommend you to buy all the titles of Laws series. Okay, so before going to chapter 2 of the Laws of Steel, I will show you a PR video for the Laws of Steel. Our international headquarters team made a beautiful video.
成功するための、心のあり方っていうか、心構えですね。これが非常に大事。これが、心構えのところが、繁栄を招くという考え方になるわけですね。自分をあまり小さく規定するのはやめていただきたいと思います。みんな、すごい可能性を持ってます。その可能性はね、心が開いていくとともにもっともっと宇宙の光が入ってくるようになります。どうか心を浄化し、常に原点に帰って、世のため、人のために生き抜くことこそ自分の与えられた100年の生涯であるということを自覚することが大事であると思います。今こそ、もう一度大きな力を持たねばならないときです。目覚めた人が数を出なければならないと思います。与える愛を実践できる人が増えていけば、これは確実にユートピア化していきます。1円もいらないんです。心の中で自分の小さな発動機を回して、他の人々に少しでも役に立ちたい。優しくありたい。その人に 良くなっていただきたい。そういう気持ちです。人が尊いか、尊くないかは、その人の行いによって決まります。その人の行いが、その人の身分を決め、その人の位置づけを決め、尊さを決めます。しかし、それを超えて、さらに祈りを通して、愛から祈りが未来を開くことになります。祈りはまだ実現しないものも含まれています。しかし皆さんが多く祈れば、その方向に世界は動いていくと思います。
Thank you so much. Okay. So this video is available online. So please share this video with your Dharma friends and friends outside Happy Science so that everyone in the UK and Europe can read this beautiful book, The Laws of Steel. We are waiting for a shipment in July. Okay, so let's go back to the chapter 2, today's main topic. The law of cause and effect. And this is based on Master's lecture in 2018. And this is a commemoration lecture for his celebration for first turning of the Way of Dharma, which means a celebration of his first lecture in 1986. And at the beginning of this lecture, Master Okawa reflected upon his 33 years of missionary work from the beginning. And he looked back that the law of cause and effect, law of causality, is very true. So first, before going to the topic, I will show you a video of looking back on the activities of Happy Science in those 33 years. This is a video shown in Canada, a master's lecture in Canada in 2019. His first lecture.
I have a responsibility to this world, planet Earth. Now is the time to teach real things. To make Vigilant Utopia, we started the Happiness Realization Party. It's a new hope. Guardian Spirit will come down here.
There is no other church, there's no other book, there's no other entity that I have had that same experience with. No, we can actually listen to him directly, so it's a great miracle.
Thank you very much. And looking back on this history in 33 years, Master Oka talked about the importance of accumulating daily efforts, continuous efforts in the beginning of the lecture, the law of cause and effect. And I will show you the first part of this lecture.
でも毎年毎年ですね、年齢を重ねるように成長していくことの大切さと、やっぱり楽しさを知っていた方がいいんではないかなと思います。ですから、若い頃にあんまり自信がなかったり、恥ずかしいと思ったり、失敗したと思ったり、いろいろ思ってた、自分が、その当時は情けないと思ってたことも多かったんですが、今にして思うと、そんな簡単にして出来上がらなかった自分も、多少は褒めてやらなきゃいけないのかなという気もしますね。だから、その段階でも、それで終わりとは思わなかったっていうことですかね。そういうことが、続いています。もし私が、例えば本でも、出して、1万冊も売れたら、もうこれで、万々歳だと思ってたら、それ以上にはいけなかったと思いますね。いまだに、教えが全世界に届かないところを残念に思ってるから、本を出し続けているし、いまだに私の教えをみんな聞いてくださるわけではないので、今年も今、2830何回目かの説法をしてるわけなんですけど、終わりのない戦いというものも、あるということですね。ただ、年齢を刻むように、やっぱりそういう成長していることだけは確かであるように、思えて、なりません。ですから、2809回、900回こう、話を重ねていってますが、やっぱりその回数分だけの小さな地震がこう積み重なってくる感じはあって、それだけの経験やってくると、大きな会場、小さな会場、それから地方と都市部、海外、国内、あるいは海外でも国によって、都市によってどう違うかみたいなのを、いろんな場合を経験をしてくるので、やっぱり心の、なんて言いますかね、弾力性っていうか、そういうものがついてきます。どういう事態の時に、どういうふうにしてやり遂げたか、やり抜いたかっていうことをですね、思い出すにつれても、少しずつ、それは自分を守る、弾力のようなものになっている気がいたします。だから、今、大きな会場でも楽そうに話しているかもしれませんけど、やっぱり、それは、確かに天井界といつも同通しているという、そうした環境を維持して努力があるのも当然ながら、できて当然の状態をいつも作るように、努力し続けているということが、大きいのではないかと思います。さらには、毎年毎年、ちょっとずつ新教師を開いていることも事実で、今までやってなかったようなことを少しずつやり始めるようになっています。その新しい教師を開くにあたっても、今まで積み重ねてきたことが自信になって、自分を支え、守ってくれて、この新しいことに手を出すことが許されるか否かっていうときに、自分自身ですね、そろそろいいんじゃないかというようなところがありますよね。例えば、海外での始めるにあたってもそうだろうし、学校を作るにあたってもそうだったろうし、大学を作るにあたってもそうだし、映画を作るにあたってもそうだし、音楽等を作るにあたっても、そうだし、 宇宙人ものとかも今、最近はいろいろ発表もしてますけども、そんなに当たっても30年以上、いろいろと積み重ねてきたから、日本が自信としてあって、新しいことについても開示していってもですね、批判されても、そんな簡単には崩れないよっていう感じがあるし、自分自身としては、全部批判できるなら、どうぞしてみてくださいっていう、感じは、やっぱりありますね。そういうことで、そうした実績がたまればたまるほど、新しいことに挑戦するだけの勇気も成長してくる気がしますね。そういう意味で、なんていうか、努力の継続ということは非常に大事なことだと思います。
Thank you very much. Okay, let us review the main points of the lecture. First, Master said, I'm glad that I have not been so easily satisfied with myself. And also, I hope that people will understand and savor the importance and joy of steady growth, just as trees grow annual limbs with each passing year. So it is good to have a big dream, even so it is essential to make steady efforts and to advance step by step. So Master Okawa accumulated his efforts in his life, in his whole life, in more than 60 years life. And every outcome of his achievements, outcome, and every single lection in him is based on his continuous efforts. So without continuing our efforts, we cannot realize something great. We cannot realize our dream. So I'd like all of you to study at Happy Science for long years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years to the end of your life, because we cannot learn the core of the teachings, grasp the core of the teachings without learning for a long time. For example, Rajna is a 20 years member, and Pascal is almost 10 years. And many Japanese members have studied at Happy Science more than 30 years. But every one of them says that I'm still on the way of learning. I have a lot of things to learn at Happy Science. So we are on the way of endless process of learning at Happy Science. So I'd like to recommend all of you to study at Happy Science for long years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. This is my recommendation. Okay, and the next point is what the law of cause and effect. Put simply, this law says, without a cause, there is no effect. If you don't sow seeds, there will be no grain to harvest. This is very simple law. Very, very simple, but very difficult to practice. Without sowing the seeds, we cannot harvest the grain. Very simple. And if you are interested in this law of cause and effect, I will recommend you read this book, The Challenge of the Mind. And the chapter 1 of this book, The Challenge of the Mind, is about the law of cause and effect from the Buddhist point of view. And actually, the law of cause and effect is a principle of the universe created by God or Buddha himself. Or to put it another way, the law of cause and effect, or the law of causality, is God or Buddha himself, because Buddha or God is principle of the universe itself. So in this book, we can learn the profound and very deep teachings about the law of cause and effect. So please refer to the chapter 1 of that challenge of the mind. And another recommended book about the law of cause and effect is The Law of Great Enlightenment. This is also a book from a law series of Master Okawa. And this is from chapter 5 of this book. And this passage says, and in this world there may be times when you feel that you haven't been rewarded in spite of all your efforts, while at the same time others may achieve great success with hardly any effort. Maybe you have the same experiences in your life, right?
Yes.
Maybe many experiences. So we tend to think that it's unfair. I studied happy science, but couldn't achieve success. But the people outside achieved great success. It's unfair. We tend to think like that. But please remember, the cycle of cause and effect will certainly be completed in the real world that transcends this one. So we cannot say that the effect or the result of our efforts will be rewarded in this world or not. Maybe some of our efforts will be rewarded in the other world. This is what this passage says. So we don't have to think it's unfair.
God.
Everything is fair from the spiritual point of view. All right. So the next important topic from this section, law of cause and effect, is about the three poisons of mind, which is greed, anger, and foolishness. And maybe you have studied about this at your intermediate course lesson.
Yes, I did.
Yes. So at the end of today's seminar, we will do some contemplation on these three poisons of the mind: greed, anger, and foolishness, especially on anger. Okay. We will hear the lecture related to this topic.
釈さんの教えに、サビは鉄を入れて、鉄を滅ぼすというような言葉がございます。サビというのは、鉄ですね。最初は刀とかね、そしてちゃんと機能する繊維があっても、それが雨ざらしになったり、なくなったりすると、サビが出てきますね。刀だって錆びていく。赤サビが出てきたら、刀切れなくなるんですね。錆び落としなきゃいけない。それを磨いて、錆び落としなきゃ使い物にならない。包丁だって使い物にならなくなる。刀だって切れなくなる。だから、鉄はその中から材料が出てきて、そしてそのもの自体を使えなくしていくんだってことですね。人間の中から出てくる錆びとは何であるか。これが簡単に言えば、貪嗔痴という心の差ですね。あなたには貪欲、要するに、自分に今の努力、過去の経験や努力、勝利に徹して、過ぎた欲望を持っていませんかと、貪欲なあなたではありませんか。人は怒りですね。あなたはすぐカットしませんかという人に自分の間違いやそういう欠点やあるいは失敗していされたすぐカットを起こったりしませんか。あるいは好き嫌いがはっきり出てこれ嫌いだ、ダメだとか、あるいはいいとか、あるいは何の問題でも好きが嫌いだっていうのものすごくはっきり出たり、あるいは部下でも好き嫌いだったり、上司の好き嫌いが出たり、その好き嫌いが激しく出るっていうのに、怒りとつながってますので、知の心とつながってるので、そういうふうになってませんか。人をちゃんと公平に、長所も短所もよく見てたら、ある程度の差でしか尽きないことが多いので、自の心が強いならちょっと、反省されたらいい。だから、知は愚かさですよね。だから、立法真理教学として、本としては読んで、話としたら、分かる。例えば、原因と結果の法則っていう大学出されて、1枚、論文とか書くなら書ける。その時には書ける。しかし、論文書いた時離れて、いつか街に出たら、そこがそれてるっていう方は いらっしゃるわけですね。やっぱりドラッグその方に目が超えてくるし、耳も超えてくるし、いろいろと分かるようになってくる。だけど、仕事でも、そうですよね。
Thank you. So let us review the essence of the lecture. First, Master referred to the verse of Shakyamuni Buddha. Rust eats away the very iron from which it is born. Rust is born of iron, but finally, the rust grows the iron and makes it unusable. And the most typical example of rust is the three poisons of the mind, which is greed, anger, and foolishness. And what is greed? This is an excessive desire, which is beyond our capacity. So we need to check if we have an excessive desire or lust beyond our capacity, which doesn't deserve us. And second one is anger. So in the end of this lecture, this seminar, we will have a contemplation time on the poison of anger. And the third poison of the mind is foolishness. As for these three poisons of the mind, you can also refer to the book, The Hell You Never Knew. This is also very interesting and very, very recommended book for knowing about the relationship between our state of mind and the spirit world. Of course, the foolishness at Happy Science means the foolishness about Buddha's truth or ignorance towards Buddha's truth. So even if the person is intelligent in this world, if they do not know about the spirit world or know about God, he or she is ignorant or foolish from the spiritual point of view. This is what this foolishness is talking about. Ignorance to spiritual truth. And also, this was very interesting example. Even if we can write an essay or pass the exam at Happy Science, it's very difficult to practice it. Once we go out of Happy Science, yes, we tend to forget everything. Me too. So,
would you try?
Right, it's very important to practice every teaching into our daily life. So please remember that. Okay, and finally, we will have a time for short contemplation. Okay, so please prepare for your meditation style. Okay. We will start breathing concentration. Please straighten your back and relax your whole body. And take a deep breath and lead your breath down to your stomach. Please breathe out slowly. Please continue deep breathing so that you can calm your mind. Now we will take a time for contemplation. Today's contemplation is on the poisons of anger. Check and see if you have extreme emotions. Are you short-tempered? When someone points out your errors, shortcomings, or failures, do you respond with rage? Do you have extreme feelings of like or dislike? Labeling things as good or bad based on your preferences? Do you judge people in the same way in romantic or workplace relationships as well? Look fairly and squarely at others' strong and weak points. You will see that the differences between yourself and others are often rather small. From the Laws of Steel, page 84. If you remember any moment when you had an extreme emotion this week, please try to look back on that moment and try to find the cause why you have such an extreme emotions. Please end your contemplation. Thank you so much. Let's discuss about the findings through contemplation in the Dharma talk discussion from 3 p.m. after a short break. And this is very simple but very important practice of self-reflection. And the starting point for reflecting upon ourselves and changing ourselves is to check if we have 3 poisons of mind: greed, anger, and foolishness. And especially, we tend to have anger in our daily life. So this practice, contemplation on anger, is very essential and important for daily practice of self-reflection. So please refer to the book Laws of Steel and keep doing this kind of self-reflection. Okay, finally, I will remind you the next week's event. As you know, 7th of July is Master Ryuho Okawa's birthday. And as the celebration of Lord Elkantare's descent, Master Oka will give a lecture, Creation from Faith, on 12th of July Sunday in Japan. Here in London, we will celebrate Lord Alcantara's descent on 12th of July Sunday from 2 p.m. here at Happy Science London Temple, and watch the lecture Creation from Faith, which will be held on the same day in Japan. This is a very important lecture for the people around the world, the message to the people around the world. So let's gather again at Happy Science Temple and celebrate Lord Alcantara's descent, study the lecture of Master Oka. From yesterday, we could open the temple to the public. So for the religious facilities, the lockdown is over. So we can gather again at Happy Science Temple. And next week is the best time to gather again and gather our strength, gather our light, gather our faith, and expand the light of Happy Science London from this temple to whole London, whole UK, and whole the world. So the beginning for this expansion is the next week's celebration of those descents. All right. Thank you very much for joining today. And we will have a short Dharma talk discussion from 3 p.m. in 5 minutes. Thank you so much. 3 p.m.
Yeah, where? Here?
Here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh.